Happy Friday, happy Friday. I'm back with this horrifying, scary video from Unpopular Notes. This video is about horrifying things caught on police body cam. And for those people who like horror movies, let's dive into the video. Don't forget to like. It's very, very helpful. YouTube hates me. Let's show some love and like, comment. And let's dive into the video. Thank you guys for watching as usual.
We don't get to see much of the day-to-day of what goes on into being a police officer. However, due to the advancements in technology, police are able to wear body cameras, which help ensure their safety as well as the civilians. Some of the footage from these body cameras is very terrifying, as police officers come into contact with all sorts of horrifying situations. Here's 12 of the most creepy police body cam footage that's ever been recovered. Ghost girl attacks police officer. In this video, a police officer walks into an abandoned home. He holds his gun out as though he's expecting someone as he searches through the house. The home is in terrible shape. There are holes in the ceiling, wall, and floors. As he makes his way through the house, the sound of a woman crying
Oh my god, I muted the microphone and I thought I was talking. Why would police officer go to an abandoned house without a roof, without like
can be heard. The officer alerts whoever is crying that he's with the police and that she should show herself and put up her hands.
Police department, anybody in here? Show your hands. Make yourself known.
There's no response to the officer, but the crying stops. He enters what appears to be a bedroom when a large bang comes from behind him. He whips around and sees a woman move behind the corner. The body camera starts to glitch and the officer's flashlight starts to flicker as he follows her into the hallway. The woman has long dark hair and is wearing a white nightgown. The officer tells her to put her hands up, but his flashlight goes out.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Right now. So, King 1, did you copy that?
Let me just go back. Okay. I would be peeing in my pants. I would be like abandoned house. Why would you go to abandoned house? And then you see somebody like, that movie, The Ring. I don't know. Is it The Ring? I would be freaking scared. I would be running. I would be pissing myself. Like, seriously.
Right now. So, King 1, did you copy that?
When it turns back on, the woman is right in front of him and her face is terrifying. The screen goes dark as the connection to the body cam is lost. It's unclear who the woman was, if she was a real ghost, or what the officer was doing in the house in the first place, but the video is horrifying.
Was it staged? What was it? What happened to the police officer? I hope he didn't die. I just hope nothing happened to him, because some videos, they leave you hanging. You have no idea what happened. End of that video. It's just like, oh, and this happened and nothing. We want to know what happened to that police officer. We want to know why that police officer went to that abandoned house in the first place. Like, seriously.
Gabe's House of Horror. 17-year-old Jordan Turpin placed a 911 call saying that she had escaped her abusive parents and needed help saving the rest of her siblings.
I just went away from home because I live in a family of 15. We have abusing parents. Did you hear that?
I think I've heard of this story, but maybe not.
Police arrived to meet her on a street near her house. The video is quite disturbing because despite being 17 years old, Jordan looks much younger due to malnutrition. She also talks in a kind of broken English. Jordan tells the officers that she's never spoken to a person outside her family before, so it's very difficult for her to talk.
I've never talked to anybody out there, so I've never been alone with a person.
What's broken about her English? Are you talking like seriously? My English is broken over here. What's broken about her English? What? Broken English?
so this is very hard for me to talk.
The officer asks if she's on medication, and Jordan asks what medication is.
Do you take any medication?
What's medication?
Medication?
Yeah, what's medication?
Do you take pills?
It's clear that
Is that why he said she has a broken English because she doesn't know what medication is? Ah, never mind.
and Jordan asks what medication is.
Do you take any medication?
What's medication?
Medication?
Yeah, what's medication?
Do you take pills?
It's clear that she's had very little education and is terrified of talking to strangers. It turns out that Jordan is one of 12 siblings being held hostage by their parents, Luis and David Turpin.
Our parents are abusing. They abuse us.
The officers would go to her house and find them all chained up and in the same condition as Jordan, malnourished and petrified. The oldest sibling was 29 at the time and the youngest was 2. Jordan's brain
Chained up. I've seen very shocking videos lately about parents being so overprotective or over abusive. This abuse, I don't know where you spank or whatever they call that abuse, I don't know. But when you chain your kids, that is just wrong. Who does that? 12 kids? Why have 12 kids if you know you are going to mistreat them? Why? Why not just don't have kids at all? Like, seriously. That is us. That is just so sad. So sad.
officers would go to her house and find them all chained up and in the same condition as Jordan, malnourished and petrified. The oldest sibling was 29 at the time and the youngest was 2. Jordan's brave escape saved her and her siblings from their life of torture as their parents were sentenced to life in prison. Disabled woman saved by police officer. A police body cam captures horrifying footage of a wildfire in Sonoma County, California. It looks like a scene from a movie with a whole neighborhood up in flames and the sky raining ashes. The police officer goes from house to house, calling out for any survivors. Another officer hails him over, needing help carrying a woman to an ambulance.
Come on, she's disabled. All right, let me get her feet.
The woman is disabled, unable to walk for herself. One officer takes her upper body while the other officer grabs her legs and the two carry her to safety.
Sir, you gotta go!
The courage of these officers is unbelievable as they put themselves on the line to save people from the flames.
How can a disabled woman live by herself? Sometimes I ask myself, it's a good thing to have kids because maybe in your old age they will care for you. Usually some don't. Some kids were just, especially these days, they're so rude and mean to their parents. They'll be accusing their parents of, why did you give birth to me? I didn't ask you to. But why was she all alone? Like, seriously, no relatives, nothing, nobody cared. That is just so sad. I wish my kids never does that to me. I wish they all cared for me all the time. When I get older, if I will get older, I don't know.
The courage of these officers is unbelievable as they put themselves on the line to save people from the flames. SWAT team saves children from being held hostage. In this video, a SWAT team responds to a hostage situation in a Colorado home. A man holds 4 people, including 2 children, at gunpoint inside a house.
I'm gonna back up. I need to make sure that everyone's okay. Everybody's okay.
SWAT team enters the home, but the man is upstairs with the family. Because he's holding a gun and threatening to start shooting, some of the members from the SWAT team walk around to the back of the house to see if they can find another way in. One of the officers sees a child waving for help in a window.
There's one right here.
Is it cracked?
No, somebody's waving at us.
How can people be so cruel? Like, what? When people usually hold the people hostage, it's kind of very scary because you have no idea what his intent is. Is he really going to end them? Why hold kids hostage? Those kids are going to be traumatized all their lives. So sad. The world we live in today.
Open your window.
The team finds a ladder and climbs up to the window. The SWAT team is able to sneak the 2 children and their dog out of the house without the gunman knowing.
Okay, you guys start getting ready to go.
The footage is heartbreaking because the children are so scared because of the situation. Luckily, the SWAT team was able to save all of the hostages without anyone being hurt. Creature jumps at officer during search. In this video, a female officer is conducting a search on a man who appears to be homeless. They've arrested him and are searching his coat and all his pockets for weapons. The officer retrieves a bottle of liquor and a pair of socks when something jumps out of the man's coat. The officer screams in terror, putting the other officer on high alert.
It's a lizard. It's just a lizard.
The arrested man laughs because he had forgotten to tell her that he had a lizard in his pocket.
You forgot about it. You got to yell at her now. Next time, let her know, okay?
The lizard was frightened when the officer started searching the man's pockets and leapt out of his jacket to escape. While this video is terrifying in the moment, the
What was he doing with the lizard in his pocket? Was that going to be his food or was that his pet? If that was his pet, they just let his pet run away. That's so sad. But if it was going to be his food, then okay. What did he do first? What did the homeless man do? Poor homeless man.
officers share a laugh as they originally had thought that it was something much, much worse. Ghost of dead child caught on police body cam. Chris Watts was sentenced to life in prison after he admitted to murdering his wife and 2 young daughters.
Nah, you're gonna be kidding me. I know about this story. Everybody knows about Chris Watts. I watched this whole encounter with the police, how he behaved, how they went to the neighbors, and then the neighbors had cameras and they told the police what actually happened the night before, and they showed the police the footage. And so when the police came back, when he was asked about the question, when he was asked about this footage, he was like, "Oh, I've been caught. I have been caught." And so, but I never heard of a ghost of his children, or of a child in this footage. But anyway,
Chris Watts was sentenced to life in prison after he admitted to murdering his wife and 2 young daughters. A Netflix documentary was made about the murders, and after it was released, viewers noticed something supernatural in some of the recovered police body cam footage. The footage in this video was taken before Watts had admitted to the murders, and police were just responding to his calls about his wife and children being missing in the footage.
Does she work?
Yeah, she works from home.
Oh, from home?
She works this is her lifeline.
Watts is making
these 2 friends, in the red, especially the woman, she was so worried about her friend. She was so worried that she had to come over to check on her. And she thought something was up, so she had to call the police. Yeah, we need friends like her. She didn't even wait a day. She called the police immediately, within hours, because they usually talked. They usually, messaged. They were like the best friends, so she knew something was up. But yeah, we need friends like her.
calls to family while police stand by. The daughter's bedroom door is open behind him, and you can see a small child standing in the doorway. This is terrifying as there were no children.
I never seen that. I watched this footage when the police were there, but I never saw that. How did somebody? How? Oh my God! Some people spend too much time watching the videos, but hey, that's wild. Whoever saw that and let us know. It's just like this is my first time seeing this.
Doorway. This is terrifying as there were no children in the house, because Watts had already murdered them and hid their bodies at the time. When viewers saw this footage, they believed that it was the ghost of one of his daughters. Container flies off truck and crushes police car. This footage comes from a police dash cam. In the footage, a police car up ahead has pulled a car over to the side of the road going across a bridge. The weather is terrible with dark storm clouds and high winds. A large container truck drives past the police vehicle and a gust of wind knocks the container off the back of the truck, crushes the police car, and falls off the side of the bridge. Apparently, there was an officer inside the vehicle when it was hit by the container, but he survived with no injuries. Officers saved the life of choking baby. In this video, officers pull over a car that's driving recklessly on the road. When the car pulls over, a frantic mother exits the car and calls the police officers over to help save her baby. The woman's 3-month-old child is pale and gasping for air after choking on some food. The officer is surprisingly calm as he takes the baby from the car.
Have you ever choked on food? It's it's the scariest thing ever. I usually choke on water. Like sometimes when I drink water, I just choke, or sometimes I choke on my own saliva, and I usually think I'm going to die. That's the scariest. And to see that happen to your child, oh my God, I would be scared to death. I would have crashed the car. It's not easy.
Car and pats the baby's back, dislodging the food from the infant's throat.
It's okay.
When the child starts crying, the officers give a sigh of relief. In the moment of pulling the car over, the officers didn't realize they'd be needing to save the life of a child, but because of their training, they were able to do it. Police chase ends with a crash. In this footage taken from a police dashcam, the police officer turns on his lights and siren to pull over a vehicle up ahead. The vehicle speeds up and changes lanes. However, a group of cars are stopped at a light in front of the speeding vehicle, so there's nowhere for the car to go. It crashes into a large pickup truck, sending sparks and metal scattering across the road. The officer exits the vehicle with a gun in hand, telling the perpetrator to exit the vehicle with their hands in the air.
Show me your hands! Open the door!
How? How? He probably is hurt. Maybe I usually don't get it. Like I have this thing, like when a police officer stops you, just stop. Please. It might save you or save others' lives. He was lucky he hit a truck. And so probably he's hurt, but the truck driver is just fine. So I have no idea why would people be running from the police? I have no idea why people do that. Anyway, unless you're hiding something.
Open the door! And get on the ground now! Get on the ground now!
Police officer hit by drunk driver. In this video, a police officer is getting the information from a vehicle that they just pulled over.
Coming up at 4500 Danford Road Southwest.
The officer is standing on the side of a busy road. Suddenly, out of nowhere, there's a large crash. The officer's vehicle is hit by a drunk driver and the vehicle is sent flying, hitting the officer. The footage abruptly cuts off due to the car damaging the camera. The officer was rushed to the hospital to be treated for his injuries. Car is dragged by train. This footage, taken by a police vehicle dash camera, shows an SUV pinned underneath a passing train. The train slows to a stop, but the SUV stays underneath it. The officer frantically calls another officer to make sure that the conductor of the train knows the situation and doesn't start moving again. 2 people were trapped inside the vehicle and had to be taken to the hospital because of their injuries. Before we played the last clip though, you've watched this far, so why not consider subscribing to our channel? I post 2 new scary videos every week, so subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with the new releases.
Subscribe to my channel too. And don't forget to subscribe to Unpopular Notes. Thank you.
Officers respond to call about mysterious creature. This video shows body cam footage of officers responding to multiple calls of a terrifying creature walking around a neighborhood. The calls say that the creature is 8 or 9 feet tall and sort of gorilla-like.
A caller could be several teenagers, they advise they're not sure what the figure is. It's the size of a gorilla and it's blocking the entrance to a complex.
The officers find the creature and exit their vehicle to investigate. It turns out that the creature is just a man walking around in a very scary costume.
Yeah, you are getting...
I don't know what I was thinking. Probably a man in a costume. Oh my God, some people are not.
The unknown gorilla type of animal that is walking.
It's easy to see why so many calls were made to the police station. The costume is horrifying and very large. The man is very nice to the officers and tells them that he'll be more careful where he walks while in costume.
That was funny. That was so funny. Like, he'll be careful next time where he walks. Like, he needs to go to the forest and try to walk there. Maybe try to please a lion. Hey, see me, I'm a baboon. Whatever. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. It helps. YouTube has been very mean to me. I don't know why. I don't want to put so many um thoughts. I don't want to create all these stupid thoughts into my head as to why they have been so mean to me. They are being so mean to me. But anyway, like, it helps. And thank you guys for watching. Wait. Out. Left it.